Captain Jake Morrison stood in the control room of the UES Defender, looking at the strange message on his screen. The ship floated quietly in space near Earth's moon. 3 days ago, something had changed everything. A signal from far away had reached Earth, and now Jake had to make a choice that could change the future of humanity. The message came from creatures called the Kithra. They lived in the water and had been traveling through space for many years in ships that looked like they were alive. These beings had no weapons and never hurt anyone. They were healers who helped other creatures get better when they were sick or hurt. "Captain, the signal is getting weaker," said Lisa Barnes. She was the person who handled all the messages that came to their ship. "They are asking for help, but nobody wants to help them." Jake looked at the message again. The Kithra were running away from something terrible. A group called the Dominion was chasing them across the galaxy. The Dominion had big ships and lots of weapons. They wanted to catch the Kithra and take their healing powers for themselves. "Sir, we have a call from Earth," Lisa said. Admiral Peter Collins appeared on the big screen. He was sitting at his desk on Earth, and he looked worried. "Morrison, I have bad news. The Galactic Council has spoken. They say that anyone who helps the Kithra will become an enemy of the Dominion. Every big civilization in the galaxy has said no to them." Jake felt his heart sink. The Galactic Council was made up of the most powerful species in the galaxy. If they said no to helping the Kithra, it meant the water creatures had nowhere to go. "What about the Altarians?" asked Amy Rodriguez. She was Jake's second in command and had been with him for 5 years. "They always talk about helping others." Said no, Admiral Collins replied. So did the Vegan Alliance and the Centauri Republic. Everyone is too scared of the Dominion to help. Jake walked to the window and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, peaceful creatures were running for their lives. They had done nothing wrong except exist and have something that evil people wanted. "Tell me about the Dominion," Jake said. Dr. Carl Bennett stepped forward. He was the ship's science officer and knew a lot about different alien species. "The Dominion is like a disease, Captain. They move from planet to planet, taking what they want. They have conquered 12 worlds in the past 2 years. They don't just want land or resources. They want to control everything." "And the Kithra?" Jake asked. "They are the opposite of the Dominion," Carl explained. "They have never fought a war. They have spent their time healing sick animals and plants. Their ships are grown, not built. They work with nature instead of against it." Amy looked at the data on her screen. "Captain, the Kithra have been asking for help for 6 months. They have contacted 43 different civilizations. Every single one has said no."
Oh.
Jake felt anger growing inside him. How could so many advanced civilizations turn their backs on innocent creatures? What does the Dominion want with them? "Their healing technology," Carl said. "The Kithra can cure diseases that nobody else can cure. They can heal wounds in minutes that would take us weeks to fix. The Dominion wants to use this power too. Make their soldiers stronger and live longer." "And if they get it?" Jake asked. "They will be almost impossible to stop," Carl replied. "Right now, the Dominion can be hurt in battle. But if they can heal their ships and soldiers instantly, they will be able to take over the entire galaxy." Lisa's voice broke through their conversation. "Captain, we are getting another message from the Kithra." The screen changed and Jake saw something beautiful and sad. A creature that looked like it was made of flowing water appeared. It had large, kind eyes and moved like it was swimming, even though it was in space. This was Elder Scifi, the leader of the Kithra. "People of Earth," the creature said, in a voice like singing water, "we thank you for listening to our message. We know that we are strangers to you, but we have nowhere else to go. The Dominion has destroyed our home world. Our children are scared and hungry. We do not ask you to fight for us. We only ask for a safe place to rest." The message continued. "We have tried to find help from many civilizations, but they all fear the Dominion more than they care about doing what is right. We understand their fear. The Dominion is powerful and cruel. But we hope that somewhere in this galaxy, there are people who will help others even when it is dangerous." The screen went dark. Jake looked around the control room. His crew was waiting for him to make a decision. These were good people who had signed up to protect Earth and help others. But this was bigger than anything they had faced before. "Sir," Amy said quietly, "if we help them, the Dominion will come after us too." "I know," Jake replied. "Earth only has about 200 ships," Lisa added. "The Dominion has thousands." "I know that too," Jake said. Carl stepped closer. "Captain, I have been studying the Kithra for weeks. They are not just peaceful. They are truly good. In all my research, I could not find a single case of them hurting anyone. They even refuse to eat meat because they don't want to harm animals." Jake thought about his daughter back on Earth. She was only 8 years old and loved to watch the dolphins at the aquarium. She always asked him why people couldn't be more like dolphins, living in peace and helping each other. What would she think if she knew that her father had a chance to help creatures just like the dolphins but chose to do nothing? "Admiral Collins," Jake said, turning back to the screen. "What are my orders?" The Admiral was quiet for a long moment. "Officially, Earth Command cannot order you to help the Kithra. It would be suicide. But unofficially, ... double quotes. Double. Jake. I have been in space for 30 years. I've seen civilizations rise and fall. The ones that survive are not always the strongest or the smartest. They are the ones that do the right thing even when it is hard." "So what do I do?" Jake asked. "You follow your heart," Admiral Collins said. "But remember, whatever you decide, you have to live with it for the rest of your life." The screen went dark again. Jake looked at his crew. Amy was studying the tactical data. Lisa was monitoring the Kithra signal. Carl was reading about Dominion battle tactics. These people trusted him to make the right choice. "Amy, how long would it take us to reach the Kithra fleet?" Jake asked. "About 6 hours at maximum speed," she replied. "And how long before the Dominion catches up to them?" "Based on their last known position, maybe 2 days." Jake made his decision. "Lisa, send a message to the Kithra. Tell them that the crew of the UES Defender is coming to help them. Them that not everyone in the galaxy has forgotten what it means to do the right thing." "Sir, are you sure?" Amy asked. Jake looked out at the stars again. "Amy, my daughter asked me once what it means to be human. I told her that humans are the people who help others even when it is scary. Today I get to prove that to her." "Course laden, Captain," said the pilot. "Take us to the Kithra fleet," Jake ordered, "and send a message to Earth Command. Tell them that the Defender is going to do what humans do best." As the ship turned toward the distant stars, Jake felt both fear and pride. He was scared of what might happen, but he was proud to be human. Today, his species would show the galaxy what it meant to stand up for those who could not stand up for themselves. The used Defender moved through space toward the Kithra fleet. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the stars get bigger as they traveled at top speed. His crew worked quietly around him, but he could feel their worry. They were flying toward something that might get them all killed. "Captain, we are getting close," Amy Rodriguez said. She was looking at her screen with wide eyes. "Sir, you need to see this." Jake walked over to look at Amy's screen. What he saw took his breath away. The Kithra fleet was not like any human fleet. Instead of metal ships, there were dozens of creatures floating in space that looked like giant jellyfish made of light. Their bodies glowed with soft blue and green colors that pulsed like heartbeats. "They are beautiful," Lisa Barnes whispered. "They are alive," Carl Bennett added. "Those are not ships. Those are living creatures that the Kithra have partnered with. They grow together and travel together." Jake stared at the sight. Each bioship was as big as a human destroyer, but they moved like dancers. They spun and flowed around each other, in perfect harmony. Even though they were running from danger, they moved with grace and peace. "Captain, we are getting a signal," Lisa said. The main screen lit up, and Jake saw Elder Scifi again. But this time, the creature looked different. Up close, Jake could see that the Kithra was not just beautiful, but also very old and wise. Its large eyes held the knowledge of many years. Captain Morrison of the human vessel, Scifi said in its singing voice, "We are honored that you have come, but we cannot accept your help." Jake was surprised. "Elder, we came here to help you." Why won't you let us? 'Cause your species is young and small compared to the Dominion, Sci-fi explained. We have seen what they do to those who oppose them. We will not be responsible for the destruction of your people. Amy stepped forward. Elder, with respect, the Dominion will not stop with your people. Humans will be on their list eventually. If we help you now, we might be able to stop them before they get stronger. Sci-fi's eyes showed sadness. Young warrior, we have been running from the Dominion for 2 years. We've seen them destroy civilizations that were much more powerful than humans. They have weapons that can crack planets and ships that can block out the sun. Dr. Carl Bennett moved closer to the screen. Elder, I have been studying your people for weeks. Your healing technology could change everything, not just for medicine, but for the way we think about war and peace. I do not wish our gifts to be used for war, Sci-fi replied. That's not what we mean, Carl said quickly. We mean that your way of thinking could teach the galaxy something new. You prove that. It is possible to be powerful without being violent. Jake looked at the beautiful bioships floating around them. Each one held families of Kithra who had lost their homes and were looking for safety. Children who had never hurt anyone were running for their lives. Elder, I need to contact my government, Jake said. Will you wait while I talk to them? We will wait, Captain Morrison. But please understand, we have made our choice. We will not let another species die because of us. The screen went dark. Jake turned to his crew. Lisa, get me President Martinez on a secure channel. It took several minutes to establish contact with Earth. When the screen lit up, Jake saw President Susan Martinez sitting in the White House Situation Room. Around her were General Kevin Brooks, Secretary of Defense Alan Carter, and several other important people. Captain Morrison, the president said. We have been watching your mission. What is the situation? Ma'am, the Kithra refuse our help. They don't want humans to be hurt because of them. But I think they are wrong about something. What do you mean? Asked General Brooks. Sir, the Dominion is not going to stop with the Kithra. They are going to keep growing until they control everything. If we don't stop them now, while they are still growing, we might not be able to stop them later. Secretary Carter leaned forward. Captain, our intelligence says the Dominion fleet has over 600 ships. Earth has less than 200. Even if we brought in every civilian ship we have, we would still be outnumbered 3-1. That's if we fight them the normal way, Jake said. But what if we don't fight them the normal way? What do you mean? The President asked. Carl stepped up to the screen. Ma'am, the Kithra have offered to share their biotechnology with us. Not as weapons, but as healing tools. What if we could build ships that could repair themselves during battle? What if we could heal our wounded instantly? Amy added, ma'am. The Dominion expects everyone to fight like they do. Big ships, big guns, lots of violence. But what if we fought like the Kithra? What if we fought to heal instead of to destroy? General Brooks shook his head. That sounds nice, but you can't heal someone who is shooting at you. Maybe you can, Carl said. The Kithra's healing technology works on the mind too. They can calm angry thoughts and help people think clearly. What if we could use that to make the Dominion soldiers remember why they started fighting in the first place? The president was quiet for a long moment. Jake could see her thinking hard about what they had said. Finally, she spoke. Captain, the Joint Chiefs and I have been discussing this since you left. We have come to a decision. Jake held his breath. We are authorizing Operation Sanctuary, President Martinez said. You are ordered to offer the Kithra full sanctuary on Earth. We will protect them with everything we have. General Brooks added, Captain, we are not doing this just to be nice. We are doing this because it is the smart thing to do. The Dominion has to be stopped, and the Kithra might be the key to stopping them. Ma'am, what about the Galactic Council? Amy asked. They said they would throw us out if we helped the Kithra. Secretary Carter smiled grimly. The Galactic Council is a group of cowards who are too scared to do what is right. If they don't want humans in their club, then we will make our own club. What do you need from us? Jake asked. Bring them home, Captain, the president said. Bring them to Earth, and we will figure out how to keep them safe. The screen went dark. Jake looked at his crew. They all looked scared but determined. Captain, How do we convince the Kithra to come with us? Lisa asked. Jake thought about it. We tell them the truth. Tell them that humans are not like the other species in the galaxy. We tell them that when humans see someone who needs help, we help them, even if it is dangerous. And if they still say no? Amy asked. Then we stay here and protect them anyway, Jake said. We don't abandon people who need help. Jake turned back to the screen. Lisa, contact Elder Sci-fi again. The screen lit up and the wise Kithra appeared again. Captain Morrison, have you spoken to your leaders? Yes, Elder. And they have given me new orders. We are here to offer you and your people full sanctuary on Earth. We will protect you with our lives. Captain, we have told you that we cannot accept this. Your people will be destroyed. Jake took a deep breath. Elder, let me tell you something about humans. We are not the biggest, or the strongest, or the smartest species in the galaxy. But we have something that most species have lost. We have the ability to do what is right, even when it is hard. Your species is young, Sci-fi said. You do not understand what you are facing. Maybe not, Jake admitted. But we understand. What we are? We are the people who stand between the innocent and those who would hurt them. We are the people who help others, even when it means we might get hurt ourselves. Amy stepped forward. Elder, your people have been healers for thousands of years. You know that sometimes, to save a life, you have to risk your own life. That is what humans do. We risk our lives to save others. Sci-fi was quiet for a long time. Finally, the ancient creature spoke. Captain Morrison, if we come with you, many humans will die. Elder, if we don't try to stop the Dominion, everyone will die eventually, Jake replied. At least this way, we die trying to save someone. The screen went dark again. Jake and his crew waited. After several minutes, the screen lit up one more. Time. Captain Morrison, Sci-fi said. The Kithra have never had anyone willing to die for them. We accept your offer of sanctuary. May the universe forgive us for what we are about to bring upon your people. Jake smiled. Elder, the universe doesn't have to forgive us. We are doing the right thing. The journey back to Earth took 3 days. Jake Morrison watched as the Kithra bioships followed the UES Defender through space. The living vessels moved like a school of fish, staying close together for protection. Their soft lights pulsed, in rhythm, creating a beautiful display against the darkness of space. Captain, we are receiving messages from Earth, Lisa Barnes reported. Every news station wants to interview us. People all over the planet are watching. Jake looked at the communication reports. The whole world was talking about the Kithra. Some people were excited to meet peaceful aliens. Others were scared about what the Dominion might do to Earth. Most people were asking the same question. Were humans crazy to fight an enemy they could not beat, sir? We are getting a priority message from Admiral Phillips, Amy Rodriguez said. The screen lit up, and Jake saw Admiral Tony Phillips in the Earth Defense Command Center. Behind him, dozens of people were working at computers and talking on phones. Everyone looked busy and worried. Captain Morrison, welcome home, Admiral Phillips said. We have been preparing for your arrival. The President has ordered every available ship to return to Earth immediately. How many ships do we have? Jake asked. Right now, we have 187 military vessels. We also have about 300 civilian ships that can be converted for defense. It's not much against the Dominion, but it's what we have. Amy looked at her datapad. Sir, that's still less than half the size of the Dominion fleet. I know, Admiral Phillips said. That's why we need to be smart instead of strong. Chief Engineer Rachel Kim has been working on modifications to our defense systems. She thinks the Kithra biotechnology might be able to help us. The screen changed, and Jake saw Rachel Kim standing in a laboratory. She was surrounded by strange equipment that seemed to be growing instead of built. Parts of it pulsed with the same soft light as the Kithra ships. Captain Morrison, this is incredible, Rachel said, her voice full of excitement. The Kithra have been sharing their technology with us. These biosystems can repair themselves faster than we can damage them. They learn from each attack and get stronger. How does it work? Jake asked. It's like having a living computer that can think and adapt, Rachel explained. When something tries to hurt it, It figures out how to protect itself. When it gets damaged, it heals itself. It's not just technology, it's evolution happening. In real time, Carl Bennett, who had been studying the Kithra for weeks, stepped forward. Captain, I've been working with their scientists. They call it harmony technology. It doesn't just work with machines. It works with living things too. What do you mean? Jake asked. Sir, the Kithra don't just heal bodies, they heal minds. They can help people who are angry or scared feel calm and peaceful. They can help people remember why they wanted to help others in the first place. The screen changed back to Admiral Phillips. Captain, we are going to try something that has never been done before. We are going to combine human determination with Kithra wisdom. We are going to fight a war where the goal is not to destroy the enemy, but to heal them. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. Admiral, that sounds very dangerous. Everything we do from now on is dangerous, Admiral Phillips replied. But if we can make it work, we might be able to stop the Dominion without becoming like them. The used Defender and the Kithra fleet finally reached Earth. Jake stood on the bridge and looked down at his home planet. The blue and green world looked so peaceful and small compared to the dangers that were coming. Captain, the Kithra are asking permission to enter Earth's oceans, Lisa reported. Jake contacted Earth Command. Admiral, the Kithra want to go into our oceans. Is that safe? More than safe, Admiral Phillips said. It's perfect. The oceans are where they belong. Dr. Linda Foster from the Marine Biology Institute has been preparing for their arrival. Screen showed Dr. Foster standing on a research ship in the Pacific Ocean. She was watching as the first Kithra bioship slowly descended into the water. Ah! The huge creature moved like a whale, graceful and calm. This is amazing, Dr. Foster said. The Kithra are not just entering our oceans. They are connecting with our marine life. The whales and dolphins are swimming with them like they are old friends. Jake watched as more bioships entered the oceans around the world. Within hours, every major ocean had Kithra living in it. The creatures seemed to bring peace wherever they went. Fish swam closer to them, and even sharks seemed calm in their presence. Captain, we are getting reports from around the world, Lisa said. The Kithra are not just living in our oceans. They're healing them. Dead coral reefs are coming back to life. Polluted water is becoming clean. It's like they are fixing our planet. But not everyone was happy. The screen showed Paul Watson, the head of Earth's diplomatic corps, sitting in a meeting with alien ambassadors. The aliens did not look pleased. Director Watson, said Ambassador Veltar from the Altarian Empire, the Galactic Council is very angry about Earth's actions. You were warned not to help the Kithra. Paul Watson was a calm man who had been dealing with alien politics for many years. Ambassador, Earth has made its choice. We believe in helping those who need help. This is not about helping, Ambassador Veltar said, his voice getting louder. This is about survival. The Dominion will destroy you for this. Maybe Paul said, but we would rather die trying to do the right thing than live knowing we did nothing when innocent people needed help. The Galactic Council will not support you, the ambassador warned. When the Dominion comes, you will face them alone. We are not alone, Paul replied. We have the Kithra, and we have something else that most civilizations have forgotten. What is that? Ambassador Veltar asked. We have hope, Paul said. We believe that good can win over evil, even when the odds are impossible. The ambassador and the other aliens left the meeting. Earth was now officially outside the Galactic Council's protection. They were on their own. Back on the UES Defender, Jake was meeting with Elder ShortStories and his senior staff. The meeting was taking place in a special room that was half air and half water, so both humans and Kithra could be comfortable. Captain Morrison ShortStories said, "Our people are grateful for your sanctuary, but we must prepare for what is coming. The Dominion will not wait long to attack." General Brooks, who had come up from Earth, looked at the tactical displays. "Our intelligence says the Dominion fleet will arrive in about 10 days. They have 600 ships, and they are all designed for war. How do we fight them?" Asked. "We don't fight them the way they expect," ShortStories replied. "For too long, the galaxy has believed that the only way to stop violence is with more violence. But there is another way." "What way?" General Brooks asked. "We show them what?" "They have forgotten," ShortStories said. "We show them that there is more to life than conquest and control. We show them that helping others feels better than hurting them." Dr. Carl Bennett had been working with Kithra scientists for days. "General, I think it might work. The Kithra healing technology doesn't just fix bodies. It can fix minds too. It can help people remember who they used to be before they became angry and violent." "You want to heal the Dominion?" General Brooks asked, sounding surprised. "We want to give them a choice," Jake said. "Right now, they think the only choice is to conquer or be conquered. But what if we could show them a third choice? What if we could show them that they could be part of something better?" General Brooks shook his head. "That's a nice idea, but they will be shooting at us with real weapons. How do we defend ourselves while we are trying to heal them? The same way doctors defend themselves in a hospital," Elder ShortStories said. "They focus on saving lives, not taking them. They work together as a team, and they never give up, even when the patient seems hopeless." Jake looked around the room at the humans and Kithra working together. A few weeks ago, they had been strangers. Now they were partners, sharing ideas and technology to prepare for the biggest challenge either species had ever faced. "How long do we have?" Jake asked. "The Dominion scouts will arrive in 7 days," General Brooks said. "The main fleet will be here 3 days after that. Then we have 10 days to get ready," Jake said. 10 days to prepare for a kind of war that has never been fought before, Captain Amy said. "What if it doesn't work? What if we can't heal them?" Jake looked out at Earth, where millions of people were going about their daily lives, not knowing that their world was about to change. Forever. "Then, we fight the old way. But first, we try something new. We try to prove that humans and Kithra together can do something that nobody else in the galaxy has ever done." "What's that?" Amy asked. "We try to turn enemies into friends," Jake said. "We try to save everyone, even the people who are trying to hurt us." Elder ShortStories' eyes glowed with hope. "Captain Morrison, in all our years of traveling through the galaxy, we have never met anyone who thought like this. Perhaps together, we can show the universe a new way to solve problems." Jake smiled. "Elder, humans have always been good at doing impossible things. Let's see if we can do one more." The Dominion fleet arrived exactly when Earth's intelligence said it would. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UES Defender watching as hundreds of dark ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They looked like metal insects, all sharp edges and weapon ports. Each ship was built for one purpose: to destroy anything that got in their way. "Captain, we are counting 612 enemy vessels," Amy Rodriguez reported. Her voice was steady, but Jake could hear the fear underneath. "They're moving in attack formation toward Earth." "Are our ships ready?" Jake asked. "All human vessels are in position," Admiral Phillips reported from Earth Command. "The Kithra bioships are rising from the oceans now." Jake looked at his tactical display. Earth's defense fleet looked tiny compared to the Dominion Armada. But something was different about the human ships. They glowed with soft blue light, the same color as the Kithra bioships. The healing technology had been integrated into every vessel. "Captain Morrison," a new voice said over the communication system. The voice was cold and cruel. "I am Admiral Kreshtar of the Dominion Fleet. You will surrender the Kithra immediately, or we will destroy your pathetic planet. Jake looked at his crew. Lisa Barnes was monitoring communications from around the world. Amy was coordinating with the defense fleet. Carl Bennett was working with Kithra scientists to make sure the healing technology was working properly. These people had become his family, and he was about to lead them into a battle they might not survive. Admiral Kreshtar, Jake replied. This is Captain Morrison of the Earth Defense Fleet. The Kithra are under our protection. If you want them, you will have to go through us. Kreshtar laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Your entire fleet is smaller than one of my battle groups. You cannot possibly think you can stop us. We don't think we can stop you, Jake said. We know we can stop you, because we have something you don't have. What is that? Shtar asked. We have a reason to fight, Jake replied. We are not fighting to conquer or control. We are fighting to protect innocent people. It makes us stronger than you think. We shall see, Kreshtar said. Attack. The battle began at the edge of the solar system. Dominion ships moved forward like a swarm of angry wasps. Their weapons charging up to fire. The human fleet moved to meet them, but they did not attack immediately. All ships, remember the plan, Admiral Phillips broadcast. We are not trying to destroy them. We are trying to heal them. Focus on disabling their weapons and engines, not destroying their ships. The first exchange of fire was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Dominion ships fired their massive weapons at the human fleet, expecting to see ships explode in balls of fire. Instead, they watched in confusion as the human ships absorbed the damage and began to heal themselves. What is happening? Kreshtar demanded from his command ship. Sir, their ships are repairing themselves, one of his officers reported. Our weapons are damaging them, but they heal faster than we can hurt them. Impossible, Kreshtar said. Increase firepower. Destroy them all. But the human ships were not just healing themselves. They were also doing something else. As the Dominion ships fired their weapons, the human vessels began to emit a strange energy. It was the same energy that the Kithra used to heal minds. And calm, angry thoughts. Captain, it's working, Carl Bennett reported from his science station. The healing energy is reaching the Dominion ships. Some of their crews are starting to question what they are doing. Jake watched as several Dominion ships began to slow down and stop firing. The energy was making their crews remember who they used to be before they became soldiers in a war machine. Sir, we are receiving a transmission, Lisa said. It's from one of the Dominion ships? The screen showed a young alien who looked scared and confused. This is Commander Velanoth of the Dominion ship Ravager. Something is wrong with my crew. They are refusing to fight. They keep saying they don't want to hurt anyone. Commander Jake said gently, there is nothing wrong with your crew. They are remembering what it feels like to be good people. Don't have to fight us. You can choose to help us instead. I don't understand, Velanoth said. We are soldiers. We follow orders. You are people first, soldiers second, Jake replied, and people can choose to do the right thing. More Dominion ships began to stop fighting, as their crews were being affected by the healing energy, and they were starting to remember that they had once been farmers, teachers, artists, and parents before they became warriors. But Admiral Kreshtar was not giving up. All ships fall back to safe distance. Prepare the planet crackers. Jake felt his blood turn cold. Planet crackers were weapons that could split a world in half. If the Dominion used them, Earth would be destroyed completely. Admiral Phillips. They are preparing to use planet crackers, Jake reported. All ships, new orders, Admiral Phillips broadcast. Protect Earth at all costs. We cannot let those weapons fire. The human fleet charged forward, but they were still outnumbered. The Dominion had pulled back their affected ships and were now using only their most loyal crews. The battle became desperate as human ships threw themselves between the planet crackers and Earth. Captain, we are losing too many ships, Amy reported. The Kithra bioships are trying to help, but they are not built for this kind of combat. Jake watched as ship after ship was destroyed trying to protect Earth. These were good people who had families and dreams, and they were dying to save others. He felt anger building inside him, but he pushed it down. Anger would not help them. Now, Elder Zephi, Jake called to the Kithra leader, we need more healing energy. Can your people increase the power? We are already at maximum capacity, Zephi replied. But perhaps, Captain, what if we tried something different? What do you mean? What if instead of healing their minds, we healed their ships? Hey. If we made their weapons unable to fire? Jake thought about it. It was a dangerous idea, but it might work. Do it. The Kithra bioships began to glow brighter. But instead of sending healing energy to the Dominion crews, they sent it to the ships themselves. The alien vessels began to change. Their weapons stopped working. Their engines became gentler. Their armor became softer. What are you doing to our ships? Kreshtar screamed over the communication system. We are healing them, Jake replied. We are turning instruments of war into instruments of peace. The planet crackers began to malfunction. Instead of charging up to destroy Earth, they began to emit the same healing energy that the Kithra used. The massive weapons became massive healers, sending waves of peace and calm throughout the solar system. No, Kreshtar shouted. This is impossible. Ships cannot be healed. They are machines. Everything can be healed, Elder Zephi said, his voice calm and wise. Even machines can be taught to help instead of hurt. The tide of battle began to turn. Dominion ships that had been healed by the Kithra energy began to join the human fleet. Their crews, now free from the anger and fear that had driven them to war, chose to protect Earth instead of destroy it. Admiral ShortStories' command ship was one of the few vessels still fighting. He had surrounded himself with the most loyal and violent members of his crew, but even they were starting to be affected by the healing energy. Sir, perhaps we should reconsider, one of his officers suggested. Maybe there is another way to solve this problem. There is no other way, Kreshtar snarled. We are the Dominion. We take what we want, and we destroy what we cannot take. But why? The officer asked. Why do we have to hurt people? What if we could get what we need by helping instead of hurting? Kreshtar stared at his officer. For a moment, Jake thought he saw something change in the Admiral's eyes. But then the moment passed, and Kreshtar's face became hard again. All remaining ships target the human command vessel, Kreshtar ordered. If we can destroy their leader, maybe we can still win this battle. Every weapon that still worked turned toward the UES defender. Jake and his crew prepared for the end. They had done everything they could. They were going to die at least. They would die knowing they had tried to save everyone. But before the weapons could fire, something unexpected happened. The healed Dominion ships moved between the Defender and Kreshtar's remaining fleet. Commander Velanoth's voice came over the communication system. Admiral Kreshtar, we will not let you hurt the people who showed us how to be good again. Stand down, or we will stop you ourselves. Kreshtar stared at the screen in disbelief. His own ships were protecting his enemies. His own people were choosing peace over war. You are all traitors, he whispered. No, Commander Velanoth replied.
Did we?
Are people who have been reminded what it means to be alive? Admiral Kreshtar's command ship floated alone in space, surrounded by hundreds of vessels that had once been under his command. The ships that had been healed by the Kithra energy now protected Earth instead of attacking it. Jake Morrison watched. From the bridge of the UES Defender, as the most powerful fleet in the galaxy, chose peace over war. Captain, we are receiving a transmission from Admiral Kreshtar, Lisa Barnes reported. He wants to speak with you directly. Jake nodded. Him through.
No.
The screen lit up, and Jake saw Admiral Kreshtar for the first time. He was a tall, thin creature with dark skin and red eyes. His face was twisted with anger and confusion. Behind him, Jake could see his bridge crew looking uncertain and afraid. Captain Morrison, Kreshtar said, his voice shaking with rage. What have you done to my fleet? We healed them, Jake replied calmly. We helped them remember who they used to be before they became soldiers. They are not people, Kreshtar spat. They are weapons. They exist to serve the Dominion. Everyone is a person first, Jake said. Even you, Admiral. You were someone before you became a conqueror. You had dreams, hopes, people you cared about. Kreshtar's eyes flickered for a moment. I was a teacher once, before the Dominion came to my world. But that was long ago. That person is dead. No, Elder Zephi said. his voice gentle as he appeared on the screen beside Jake. "That person is still inside you. He is just hurt and scared. We can heal that hurt if you let us." "I will not be weakened by your tricks," Kreshtar said. But his voice was less certain now. Jake could see the battle happening inside the Admiral. Part of him wanted to keep fighting, to maintain the only identity he had known for years. But another part of him, the part that had once been a teacher who cared about children, was starting to remember what it felt like to help instead of hurt. "Admiral," Jake said softly, "what did you teach?" Before the Dominion came, Kreshtar was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was different, softer. "I taught younglings about the stars, about how beautiful the universe could be. I wanted them to explore and discover, not to conquer and destroy." "You can do that again," Jake said. "Can teach people to explore instead of conquer. You can help us build something better than the Dominion." "It's too late," Kreshtar whispered. "I have done terrible things. I've destroyed worlds, killed millions of innocent people. I cannot be forgiven for what I have done." "Everyone can be forgiven," Elder Sci-fi said, "and everyone can choose to do better. The question is not what you did yesterday. The question is what you will do tomorrow." Jake watched as tears began to form in Kreshtar's red eyes. The healing energy from the Kithra was reaching him now, helping him feel the pain he had caused and the guilt he had carried for so long. I don't know how to be anything other than what I am," Kreshtar said. "You learn," Jake replied, "just like we are learning. Humans and Kithra are learning to work together. Former enemies are learning to be friends. You can learn too." Alarms began to sound on both ships. Amy Rodriguez looked at her scanner with wide eyes. "Captain, we have a problem. More Dominion ships are approaching. A lot more." Jake felt his heart sink. "How many?" "Over 1,000 ships," Amy reported. "It's the rest of the Dominion fleet. They are coming to see why Admiral Kreshtar hasn't." Reported back, Admiral Kreshtar's face became pale. "High Command," he whispered. "They sent the entire fleet. If they see what has happened here, they will destroy everything. Earth, the Kithra, even the healed ships." "Can we fight them?" Jake asked. "Not with conventional weapons," Admiral Phillips said from Earth Command. "Even with our healed Dominion ships, we are still outnumbered 2-1. Elder Sci-fi's began to glow with a strange light. "Perhaps we do not need to fight them." "At all?" "What do you mean?" Jake asked. "Captain Morrison, your species has taught us something important. You have shown us that sometimes to save life, you must be willing to risk your own life. The Kithra have decided to do something we have never done before." "What's that?" "We are going to heal an entire fleet at once," Sci-fi said. "Every Kithra in Earth's oceans will combine their power. We will send healing energy to every ship in the Dominion fleet simultaneously." Carl Bennett looked worried. "Elder, that much energy could kill you. The Kithra are not built for that kind of power output." "Some of us may not survive," Sci-fi admitted. "But if we can heal the entire Dominion fleet, we can end this war. Forever. No more worlds will be destroyed. No more innocent people will die." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. "Elder, I can't let you sacrifice your people for us." "You are not letting us do anything," Sci-fi replied with a gentle smile. "We are choosing to do this. Just like you chose to help us when everyone else turned away. This is what people do for each other." The massive Dominion fleet began to enter the solar system. Their ships were even more frightening than Admiral Kreshtar's original fleet. These vessels were built for destroying entire star systems, not just planets. "Captain," Admiral Kreshtar said, "I want to help. My ship still has its original weapons. If the Kithra healing doesn't work on all the ships, I can try to disable the ones that are still hostile." "Admiral, why?" Jake asked. "To fight your own people." Kreshtar looked at his hands. "'Cause I remember now. I remember what it felt like to see wonder in a youngling's eyes when I showed them the stars. I want to feel that again. I want to create instead of destroy." Amy looked up from her scanner. "Captain, the Kithra are beginning to glow. Them all over the planet." Jake looked at the view screen. Earth's oceans were lighting up like they were on fire. Every Kithra bioship, every individual Kithra, was contributing their healing energy to the massive effort. The planet itself seemed to be glowing with peaceful, healing light. All ships, prepare for whatever happens next, Admiral Phillips broadcast. This is either going to save us all or destroy us all. The healing energy built up like a wave. Jake could feel it on his ship, a warm, gentle feeling that made him think of his daughter back on Earth. He thought about how proud she would be to know that her father had helped save an entire species. Energy wave launching in 3, 2, 1, double quotes. Elder ShortStories said, the wave of healing energy exploded outward from Earth like a giant bubble of light. It moved faster than the speed of light, reaching every ship in the Dominion fleet in seconds. The energy was so bright that it lit up the entire solar system. What is happening? The Dominion fleet commander demanded over the communication channel. Our ships are. They are changing. Jake watched in amazement as over 1,000 Dominion ships began to transform. Their weapons powered down. Their armor became softer. Their engines became gentler. Most importantly, their crews began to remember who they had been before they became soldiers. Sir, one of the Dominion officers said to his commander, I don't want to fight anymore. I want to go home to my family. Me too, said another. I want to see my children again. I want to teach them to build things instead of destroy them. By one, the ships of the massive Dominion fleet began to power down their weapons. Crews that had been trained to conquer and kill were remembering what it felt like to love and create. This is impossible, the fleet commander said, but his voice was weak. The Dominion cannot be stopped. We are too powerful. The Dominion can be healed, Elder ShortStories said, his voice now being broadcast to every ship in the fleet. Every person in your fleet can choose to be something better. You can choose to help instead of hurt. They were all staring at the screens in amazement. They had done it. They had actually done it. They had turned the most powerful war fleet in the galaxy into a force for peace. Captain Lisa said, we are receiving surrender requests from over 800 ships. They want to join us. What about the others? Jake asked. They are requesting permission to return to their home worlds, Amy reported. They say they want to tell their families about what they learned here. Admiral Kreshtar appeared on the screen again. Captain Morrison, I have a request. What is it, Admiral? I want to stay here and learn, Kreshtar said. Want to learn how to be a teacher again. I want to help build schools instead of warships. Will you let me? Jake smiled. Admiral, Earth always has room for teachers. Elder ShortStories' image flickered on the screen. The massive healing effort had exhausted the Kithra, but they were alive. Captain Morrison, we have done something today that we never thought was possible. We have proven that even the most violent people can choose to be peaceful. What happens now? Jake asked. We build, ShortStories replied. We build a new kind of civilization. It's one where people help each other instead of hurting each. Other one where the strong protect the weak instead of preying on them. Jake looked out at the fleet of former enemies that now surrounded Earth. Ships that had been built to destroy worlds were now committed to protecting them. Soldiers who had been trained to conquer were now learning to heal, Jake said. Send a message to the Galactic Council. Tell them that Earth and the Kithra are offering membership in a new alliance. An alliance based on helping others instead of controlling them. What should we call it? Amy asked. Jake thought about it. Call it the Sanctuary Alliance.